Hello, and welcome back to the original Larry D's Food for Thought. Today, you already know that we're going to be reading out of that old King James Bible as usual. We're reading from the Old Testament and from the New Testament to the law and to the testimony. The law being the Old Testament, the testimony being the New Testament. Okay, we are also going to be going over a few scriptures today concerning the title. How can we say we love God yet hate on our brother or sister? How can we say we love God yet hate on our brother or sister? Okay, I am going to share these scriptures with you right quick here, and you can jot them down or take a screenshot or whatever you want. But excuse me. But yeah, I mean, you hear people say all the time, "Oh, I love the Lord. He is my everything. He is my guiding light, man. He is my all in all. I love the Lord." Then you turn around the very same day or next day and you curse your brother or your sister out. Look, the Lord say, if you gonna say you love me, you got to love your brother and sister too. Okay? Because you gonna love me and then hate your brother? Well, so those things are not so to be. You cannot do that. All right. So we're going to go over these scriptures today. We're going to take a quick look at it and see if we can get a tad bit of understanding on it. I'm going to stop sharing these and let's see. Let me got something here that I needed to set, but this thing is not letting me do something that I need to do. And let's see here. Setting chord. Hmm. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, we're gonna go over these scriptures here. We can see if we can get a little bit of understanding on it because man, I tell you what, man, we don't love one another, man, we got a problem, okay, with the Lord. All right. But let's take a look at these scriptures right quick. We're gonna start this in First John, First John, the fourth chapter, and I'm gonna start reading at verse 11. And it reads, listen. Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought also to love one another. Okay? Verse 12. No man has seen God at any time, right? If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfected in us. Okay, verse 19. Look, we love him because he first loved us. All right? If a man say, I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. Mm. For he that loveth not his brother whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he has not seen? See that? I mean, you see your brother every day, but you gonna hate on him. You ain't seen the Lord, but you say you love him. Hmm. Verse 21, look, and this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also. Okay? But he commanded us, all right, do this thing. Let's go a little further here. Let's go right over here to, let's see, going to Romans, the 13th chapter, Romans 13. And let's see, we are going to start reading at verse 8. Okay, and it reads, look, owe no man anything but to love one another. Okay, for he that loveth another has fulfilled the law. What law? The royal law, even the commandments. And let's see. Verse 9, but this, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. We talking the commandments here, okay? That law, that royal law, all right? And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. See that? If you love your neighbor, all those things we just read, you're not gonna You're not going to kill him. You're not going to lie on him. You're not going to commit adultery with his spouse. You're not going to covet his stuff. So look, if you love him, he said, look, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So if you love him, he ain't gonna do none of that stuff to him. Look, verse 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. Said it again. You fulfilling that law. Okay. Let's see, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Okay. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. And that is so true. All right. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light, that armor of truth. All right. Now let's go a little further here. Excuse me. Let's go to Matthew's 22. And I'm going to start reading. Let's see here. I'm going to start reading at verse 35. And right here is when a lawyer had came to the Lord and he was asking him something. And let's see what happened here. This is Matthew 22 and 35. And it reads, look, then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting the Lord. And this guy was tempting the Lord, right? Tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Okay. 37, Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Okay. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Said it again, didn't he? Okay. Look, on these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Okay. So look, you go and read on your own, go read the commandments, Exodus 20th chapter, and you'll see that um the first few scriptures is telling you how to handle the Lord and how to deal with him and how you should love him with all your heart and everything. And then the second is telling you how you should treat your neighbor. Okay? But all the law hang on those two. All right? So now, let's go a little bit further here. Let's go to the Old Testament. Let's go to Leviticus. Going to Leviticus 19. Leviticus 19 and my book thing here ain't holding up right. Leviticus 19. I'm gonna start reading at verse 17. And it reads, look, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Don't hate on your brother in your mind. Look, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Don't wish nothing bad to happen upon this guy, man, if he gonna sin against God. Look, 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. So man, he said that's the third time he done said that. He mean it. He mean what he say, people. Okay? But look, don't hold no grudge against your neighbor. You know? Man, how you gonna love this guy, man? Or your brother, your sister, man, you got a grudge, man. Can't do it. Cannot do it. But let's go back to Matthews. On to Matthews. Let's see where we're going here. Going to Matthew's 18. Matthew's 18th chapter. And I'm going to start reading at verse 1. And it reads, look, at the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Okay. And Jesus called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them. And he said, Verily I say unto you, Lord say unto you, look, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay? So we got to be converted. We got to be like children. We are God's children. Okay, we gotta be act as such. All right. But he said, no, he may not enter into the kingdom of heaven. He talking about kingdom of heaven. Where's the Lord's kingdom gonna be in the future? Right here on this earth. So don't get that in your head. You think you're going to heaven, okay? Just because he had said it like that. All right. But let's Let me see, verse 15. Look, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him only. Okay? If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. So you got all against your brother, man. You got a grudge against him, whatnot. Go to him, talk that thing out, work it out, man. If he hear you, hey, you done gained the brother back, man. All right? But let's go further here. Now let's turn right over here to Galatians right quick. Something here I want to show you. Let's see. Galatians. Before that, Galatians, the sixth chapter. And I'm going to start reading at let's see, verse 2. And it reads, listen, bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of God, of Christ. See that? For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. Ain't that something? Look, but let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. Verse 5. For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teaches in all good things. But be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Remember that? Look, 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. Okay? I'll tell you something. You take a ball, you roll it up a hill, what's it gonna do? It's gonna roll right back down on top of your head, right? So you sow some stuff, man, your neighbor. Look, it's gonna turn around, gonna come back and smack you in the face. Remember that, okay? But let's go further here. Let's go to Matthew's the fifth chapter. Matthew's 5. So I'm gonna show you right quick here. Matthew's 5. I'm gonna start reading at verse let's see, 42. Now, this is something I know it's difficult for a lot of people, difficult for me sometimes. But Lord had it written. He told us what he wanted us to do, and we got to do it. All right, being obedient, all right, to God's word. All right, all this is in red here. Okay, this is Jesus speaking himself. Okay, now this is Matthew's 5. I'm gonna start reading at verse 42. All right, and it read, look, give to him that asked thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away. Okay. Ye have heard that it has been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. Okay? But look, but I say unto you, Lord say unto you, look, love thy enemies, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. That ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. God is not a respecter of person. He treats us all the same. You do good, he gonna reward you as such. You do bad or evil, he gonna reward you as such. All right. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have you? You just gonna love the people that love you? What you got coming? Okay. But do not even the publicans the same? They do that kind of stuff. All right. But hey, I know it's kind of hard, man. Man, I'm gonna love this guy, man. This guy hate me. But look, the Lord say love him. Let's do it. All right. But let's go back to the Old Testament right quick. Something right quick I want to show you here. I only got another place after this. This is Deuteronomy 15. Deuteronomy 15, I'm start reading at verse 7, and it reads, if there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of thy gates in thy land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother. We got poor with us today, even in this land. Okay, look, but thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need and that which he wanted. So he asked thee, don't ask why. Just give it to him. And open your hand wide. Show you why. Look. Verse 10. Thou shalt surely give him, and thine heart shall not be grieved when thou givest unto him, because that for this thing the Lord thy God shall bless thee. See that? In all thy works and in all that thou puttest thine hand unto. Okay? So look, when you lending to somebody, man, or you giving something to somebody, you are lending to the Lord, people. Okay? Believe it or not. Okay? Let's see. Verse 11. Look, for the poor shall never cease out of the land. And that is true. Therefore I command thee. He said, what? I command thee, saying, thou shalt open thine hand wide unto thy brother, to thy poor, and to thy needy in thy land. Okay? So wherever we are, we're in the U.S., we live here, we got the poor among us. They asked, give it to them, and open your hand wide. That's what the Lord say do. Let's do it. Okay? If you got it, if you don't have, okay, understand. But if you got it, do it. All right? But let's go to this last place right quick. Uh, I've read this many times before. But guess what? I'm going to read it again, as I always say, as a refresher. Okay? Look. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13, and it reads, look, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Okay? So if you keep those commandments, you learn to fear this God, keep his commandments by loving thy neighbor as thyself. It is commanded. Okay? Hey, that is the whole duty of man. All right, plain and simple. I hope you understood this. I hope that it helped you and edified you, that the Lord of heaven may be glorified. Okay, so with that food for thought, think on these scriptures and words throughout the course of the day. And until next time, peace.